It's Monday, November 27th, and this is your coffee break on the HAN Network. I'm Kate Czaplinski, bringing you the latest local news, including more on a man thrown from a Shelton bridge Thanksgiving morning. Frank Granito has your Nutmeg Sports Update and a look at your forecast, and Donald Eng joins us later to take a look back on this day in history. But first, a Monroe man suffered serious injuries after being pushed off of the Derby-Shelton Bridge early Thursday morning following an altercation with another person. Now, Shelton Police and Fire Department responded to the Derby-Shelton Bridge at about 1 a.m. Thursday morning for a report of a Monroe man in the water. Now, police and fire responded to the scene and located that 30-year-old victim submerged in the water. Officer David Eldridge swam out to the victim and pulled him to shore with some help of fire personnel. Now, according to Shelton Police, Eldridge brought the male victim to the shore where he was transported to Yale New Haven Hospital with serious injuries. An investigation revealed that an altercation occurred on that bridge and the victim was then thrown off. Police are aware there were witnesses to that incident and they request anyone who may have information to contact them at 203-924-1544. And Stratford police are looking for suspects who allegedly stole a car and fled the scene of a crash on the Merritt Parkway. Now, on Saturday around 3:48 p.m., Stratford police and canine units, along with other agencies, assisted state troopers in trying to apprehend those suspects who were operating a stolen vehicle and fled the scene of a crash that took place on the Merritt. Now, that crash closed the northbound lanes of the Merritt Parkway between exits 46 and 47 in Fairfield. Well, in Stratford, the suspect stole another vehicle, subsequently crashed it, and ran away and have not been located. Now, the Stratford police are investigating and following all leads. And in other news, New Canaan police have arrested a Norwalk man for offering a teen money for sex in New Canaan's Waveney Park back in October. That Norwalk man, Andrew Christopher Pacheca, 20 years old, told police that he's a sex addict, which is why he stopped a 17-year-old female runner in Waveney to solicit her. Now, on Wednesday, November 22nd, Pacheca was charged with disorderly conduct after he surrendered to New Canaan Police headquarters for this incident, which occurred back on October 31st. Now, Pacheca admitted that he tapped a female runner and then grabbed her by the shoulder to stop her. Once he stopped her, he asked if she would take $2,000 for sex. The female ran away from Pacheca and reported that incident to police. After Pacheca viewed the news story regarding the incident, he surrendered to police and was issued a $5,000 bond. He's now scheduled to appear in court on December 6th. And for the second time this school year and the fifth time since November 21st, 2016, Ridgefield is dealing with what officials are calling an unacceptable incident of prejudice. Now, a swastika was reportedly found drawn on the inside of a classroom door at Ridgefield High School on Tuesday, November 21st. The school had previously found a swastika etched into a table back in September. Now, Principal Stacy Gross said in a message to students and parents that a full investigation has just been completed and reported to the Ridgefield Police School Resource Officer. Now, the principal concluded that students must take ownership in creating a positive culture and community by speaking up if they become aware of any act that goes against their school values. Gross went on to say, please stand with us in denouncing this behavior and continuing to build a positive community. Now, Ridgefield First Selectman Rudy Marconi spoke about the incident at Tuesday night's Board of Finance meeting, and he will speak to department heads at a meeting at the Lair Center on Tuesday, December 5th that will focus on tolerance and anti-defamation. And state police say a drunk driver hit a state police cruiser that was pulled over investigating a fatal crash on Saturday. Around 1:30 a.m., troopers were investigating a fatal accident on I-91 near the exit 27 on-ramp after a Hyundai veered off the highway, traveled across the ramp, and struck trees off the right shoulder. Now, that male operator from Wethersfield was pronounced dead, but later in the morning at about 5 a.m., while troopers were still investigating that fatal crash, the operator of an Acura drove around the state police cruisers and DOT vehicles that were being used to close the right lane in the on-ramp and struck the rear end of an unoccupied state police SUV. Now, thankfully, no troopers or DOT personnel were injured. The cruisers and DOT vehicles all had emergency lights activated, and the lane and ramp closure were marked. Now, the 29-year-old male operator of that Acura sustained some minor injuries and was transported to the hospital for evaluation. Upon his release, he was taken into custody and charged with DUI. And a well-known Fairfield Christmas display could be in jeopardy following a petition by neighbors. Hearst, Connecticut media reports that for 18 years, the Hollowell family has put Wonderland on Roseville, a dazzling Christmas display featuring over 300,000 lights, and donations collected for those lights are given to the Shriners Children's Hospital. Well, a petition with 45 signatures sent to the First Selectman's office from residents of Roseville Terrace and Sawyer Road is asking the town and police department to do something to control traffic at the annual display. Now, those signatures represent 28 households. Now, from its opening on Thanksgiving until the lights are turned off after New Year's Day, that display draws thousands of visitors to 226 Roseville Terrace. Last year, the Hollowells said they had a total of 30,000 visitors. Now, neighbors say they appreciate the entertainment to the community and the charity that the Wonderland at Roseville brings. However, they're concerned about the event's traffic and parking, which they say creates significant public safety concerns for their neighborhood. And it is Cyber Monday and the holiday shopping season, and Norwalk police are warning residents to not let porch pirates ruin your holiday season. Now, porch pirates are thieves that target packages outside of homes, but police have some simple tips you can follow to protect your packages this year. First, they say have your packages delivered to your workplace. You can also require a signature for delivery or schedule the delivery when someone will definitely be home. They say you can also ask a trusted neighbor or friend to pick up packages. Arrange for the package to be left at the back door so it's not visible from the road, as most of those thefts are crimes of opportunity. They also suggest you can install video surveillance. All right, well, taking a turn now, going to throw it over to Frank Granito for a look at your forecast. Frank.
All right, thank you, Kate. And we're looking at a mostly sunny day outside today. Could be seeing temperatures as high as 50 degrees, definitely in the upper 40s. Breezy out, wind gusts reaching upwards of 36 miles per hour this afternoon. Cooler overnight, temperatures falling into the mid to low 20s and mostly clear skies before Tuesday morning. Another sunny day on Tuesday, temperatures definitely hitting up around 50 degrees, not as windy out, wind gusts of only 12 miles per hour. Warmer overnight, partly cloudy, temperatures staying in the 40s before what's going to be a mild Wednesday afternoon around Fairfield County. Much warmer too, temperatures almost up into the low 60s. Wind gusts between 9 to 13 miles per hour. Cooler overnight as temperatures fall all the way down into the 30s with mostly clear skies before we hit the back half of the week. That'll do it for this weather update. Let's go back over to Kate.
All right, thanks so much, Frank. We're going to step out for a break. When we come back, Donald Eng joins us to take a look back on this day in history. Frank has your Nutmeg Sports Update, and we have more local news, including outrage over a TV show's portrayal of Norwalk. That coming up after this. We know it's your busy season, and that's why Walter Stewart's Market is here to make things easy by offering the best of autumn under one roof. Walter Stewart's Market is your local one-stop fall shop. There are so many seasonal flavors to savor, and Stewart's has them all, from Blue Jay Orchard's local cider donuts to Vermont Farmstead cheddar and all of your favorite varieties of local apples and pears. Walter Stewart's Market, 229 Elm Street, New Canaan, and find us at stewartsmarket.com.
Want a new experience in car buying? No aggravation, no confrontation, just answers to all your questions. SCAP Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Car buying the way you want it to be. With one of the largest selections of new 2- and 4-door Jeep Wranglers available, we are Connecticut's Wrangler headquarters. Located in Fairfield, Connecticut, we're easy to get to. Just 2.5 miles off the Merritt Parkway, exit 44 via Route 58 South. Save thousands right now at the Black Friday sales event. Ends November 30th.
At Black Horse Garage, we fulfill all your sports car needs. We specialize in manufacturer-recommended service and aftermarket high-performance parts and installation. We have one of the nation's top storage facilities and offer a high-end collision department that understands your need for detail. Visit blackhorsegarage.com for more.
The Kitchen Center offers quality cabinetry and affordable pricing. Visit our showroom for a free consultation with our professional design staff. For all your other home improvement needs, visit Northeast Building Supply, our full-service lumberyard and window showroom. The Kitchen Center, a division of Northeast Building Supply, 1470 Barnum Avenue, Bridgeport.
Dr. Stephen Molinaro and Peter Healy of Family Practice Dentistry and Laser Dental Care have served Ridgefield for over 22 years. Experienced staff offer gentle drillless techniques, preventative care, and cosmetic procedures in a relaxed environment. Grateful for the community's trust and support through the years, new patients and their families are welcome. Call today. Dr. Steve.
Welcome back to this November 27th edition of your Coffee Break on the HAN Network, and we're happy to have Donald Eng back in studio with us to give us a look back on this date in history. Don, it's been a little while.
Yeah, it has
the
been
holiday.
a while. Yeah, no, and now we go to some intrigue north of the border. First, though, we go all the way back to 1095. Pope Urban II declares a crusade at the Council of Clermont. Now, Urban had introduced the Truce of God, which made it illegal for Christians to wage war against one another, except on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. And then he offered an exemption to the so-called Peace of God for those willing to go east, saying, let those who have been accustomed to unjustly wage private warfare against the faithful now go against the infidels. The Crusades would continue off and on against various religious groups for the next 340 years. To 1910 now, New York's Penn Station opens with 21 tracks fed by 7 tunnels. It is the busiest transit hub in the Western Hemisphere, though intercity passenger rail is no longer what it was, and also almost none of the facade above ground remains, it still serves more than 600,000 riders each day. 1934, bank robber George Babyface Nelson killed by FBI agents near Barrington, Illinois. Nelson's criminal career began at age 7. When he accidentally shot a classmate in the face with a pistol. He served a year in reform school for that and then was arrested again at age 13 for stealing cars. He soon got into bootlegging and robbery. Known for his youthful appearance and propensity to violence, Nelson killed more FBI agents in the line of duty, 3, than any other criminal in U.S. history. It is also, by the way, doubtful anyone actually ever called him Babyface to his face. That would have been an extremely dangerous thing to do. Finally, now we go to 2006, Ottawa, Canada, for this.
I wasn't secret about this in the last, in particular the last year since I became Prime Minister. I mean, my preference was the definition of Quebecers be left to the National Assembly, to the Quebec Legislature. But it was the Bloc Québécois that ultimately insisted that the Parliament of Canada make this decision. And it was the Bloc Québécois that came forward with a resolution that, while flawed, had some important elements to it. First of all, it didn't ask for anything for Quebec, which is a legal jurisdiction. What it asked was a recognition of the Québécois, which are a group of people, a sociological, a cultural.
That was Canadian Prime Minister there. The National Assembly of Canada today, in 2006, recognizes the Québécois, that is the historic French-Canadian people, as a nation within a nation in Canada. Now, this has been an ongoing issue essentially since 1763. They never really got over the French and Indian War. It also explains why, if you go to Quebec City, you will find that what we would call the state capital is referred to as the National Assembly. Canadian politics, way more interesting than you think. That is your look back in history for today, November 27th, and I'm Donald Eng.
All right, thanks so much, Don. Well, in other local news, State Senate Majority Leader Bob Duff and others are signing a petition critical of jokes made about the city of Norwalk in ABC's comedy American Housewife. Now, American Housewife is set in Westport, and according to a petition starter at StopTheInsults.com, has made several derogatory remarks about neighboring Norwalk. Now, Senator Duff wrote a letter to the president of ABC citing a Halloween episode where a student wore a balloon under her dress and said her costume was a Norwalk prom girl. Duff said targeting underage students crosses the line. And in other news, Monroe Volunteer Fire Department responded to a one-vehicle accident early Thursday morning on Thanksgiving Day on Turkey Roost Road. Now, firefighters responded at about 1 a.m. along with emergency medical services and police officers. Now, according to officials, one car had crashed into a pole on Turkey Roost Road. There were no injuries, but there was significant arcing of the power lines and a fluid spill to clean up after Eversource crews cut the power at the scene. You get more information on the Monroe Volunteer Facebook page. And WTNH reports that a black bear attacked 2 mini horses and killed one of them Saturday in Southbury. Now, officials say the Connecticut Department of Energy and Environmental Protection was requested by Connecticut State Police to Southbury for that report of a black bear attack. Authorities say a black bear attacked 2 miniature horses and one of those horses was killed. Now, DEP officials say the environmental conservation officers on scene had to euthanize that bear. They say a necropsy on the bear will be done. And the Easton Cemetery Committee discovered a potter's field, a section of unmarked graves, as it researched the history of the Center Street Cemetery. Now, the committee has found a way to acknowledge the site where 8 unknown Easton residents are buried in graves that are currently owned by the town. Now, the committee worked for a couple of years to find and deliver a suitable gravestone to mark that spot where ground-penetrating radar showed that 8 graves are located. Committee members tried to no avail to learn the identities of those unknown souls. Now, committee members Phil Dormius, Joan Kirk, Lisa Burgett, Cheryl Norton, and Gary Haynes gathered at the site on a recent Saturday morning for a dedication ceremony, which was officiated by the Reverend Amanda Ostrov of the Congregational Church of Easton. There's a lot more on that story at eastoncourier.com, and that field was first purchased by the town back in 1904. Well, in other news, one turkey was a guest of honor in a Weston resident's home this Thanksgiving and was not part of dinner. A wild turkey was rescued by Christine Pear-Rain of Christine's Critters and was getting a soak in her bathtub because he cracked his toenail and his foot was hurting, she said. Well, when he is better, he will be going to a petting zoo or a suitable forever home. Christine's Critters is a Weston-based nonprofit organization specializing in the rescue of raptors and other wild birds. All right, let's throw it back over to Frank Granito now for your Nutmeg Sports Update. Frank.
All right, Kate, lots of games to cover from Thursday, and let's start with our Thanksgiving game of the week. New Canaan taking on #1 Darien. The Blue Waves' 34-win streak has come to an end as the Rams defeated their rivals 27-0. This game, all Rams from the beginning, as Jake Ciancio intercepted the first play from scrimmage, took it 24 yards to the end zone to give the Rams a 7-0 lead. They never looked back after that. That win left the door open for the Greenwich Cardinals, who took care of their rival and are your 2017 FCIAC champions following their 31-14 victory and a 10-0 season. Congratulations to Coach John Marinelli and all of the Cardinals. Other games, you had St. Joseph all over Trumbull, 65-6. Stanford defeats West Hill 26-14. The Black Knights are your city champions for 2017. Fairfield Ward 55 to Fairfield Ludlow's 22. Wilton shuts out Trinity Catholic 42-0. Norwalk on top of McMahon 43-26. And Harding defeated Bridgeport Central 39-12. 4 FCIAC schools have qualified for the state tournament. They'll be in action tomorrow night at 6:30. Greenwich will host Fairfield Prep. Darien hosts East Hartford. Those are your double L games. New Canaan travels to Middletown in Class L, and in Class S it will be St. Joseph hosting O'Brien. We'll dive into those games deeper, plus highlights from our Turkey Bowl coverage and a breakdown of all the Thanksgiving games this afternoon at 2 o'clock on Nutmeg Sports. For now, though, we go back over to Kate Czaplinski.
All right, thanks so much, Frank. We're going to step out for a break, and when we come back, we're going to recap some of the top stories we're following today after this.
Yeah, Dad.
Kyle, I need you to update the financial statements.
I took care of that yesterday, Dad.
Mac,
I need you to get those deals approved.
They're all done, Mr. Miller.
Jeff, I need you to order lunch for the meeting. They can't do a thing without me.
Right now, lease a 2017 Sentra S for only $97 a month.
I'm never going to retire.
Bankwell combines the best personalized service with high-tech banking features for our customers' convenience. We pride ourselves on being a strong community partner. You don't settle for average in anything else you do. Why settle for an average bank? Don't just bank when you can bank well instead. Visit mybankwell.com for more. Manfredi New Canaan is celebrating 3 exceptional years selling Rolex watches and fine jewelry to the Fairfield County community. We appreciate all our loyal clients and look forward to welcoming and helping you discover the perfect gift to celebrate life's most important occasions.
At Galt, we always put you first. As your full-service home heating partner, we provide expert delivery, installation, and maintenance for all your heating needs with knowledgeable, friendly professionals that give you peace of mind 24/7. Galt Family Companies, you first since 1863.
Welcome back to this Monday edition of your Coffee Break on the HAN Network. I'm Kate Czaplinski, recapping some of the top stories we're following today. A Monroe man suffered serious injuries after being pushed off of the Derby-Shelton Bridge early Thursday morning following an altercation with another person. Now, Shelton police and the fire department responded to that bridge at about 1 a.m. Thursday morning for a report of a man in the water. Police and fire responding to the scene found that 30-year-old man submerged. Officer David Eldridge swam out to the victim and pulled him to shore with some help of fire personnel. Now, according to Shelton police, Eldridge brought the male victim to shore, where he was transported to Yale New Haven Hospital with serious injuries. An investigation revealed that a fight happened on the bridge and the victim was thrown off. Police are aware there were witnesses to the incident and are asking anyone with information to contact them at 203-924-1544. They say all calls can be kept confidential. And Stratford police are looking for suspects who allegedly stole a car and fled the scene of a crash on the Merritt Parkway. This happened Saturday around 3:48 p.m. Stratford police and canine units, along with other agencies, were helping state troopers in trying to apprehend suspects who were operating a stolen car and then fled the scene of a crash that took place on the Merritt. Now, that crash closed the northbound lanes of the Merritt Parkway between exits 46 and 47 in Fairfield. Well, in Stratford, the suspects allegedly stole another car, subsequently crashed it, and then ran away and have not yet been found. Stratford police say they are currently investigating and following all leads. And New Canaan police have arrested a Norwalk man for offering a teen money for sex in New Canaan's Waveney Park back in October. That Norwalk man, Andrew Christopher Pacheca, 20 years old, told police that he's a sex addict, which is why he stopped a 17-year-old female runner in Waveney to solicit her. Now, police say this on Wednesday, November 22nd, Pacheca was charged with disorderly conduct after he surrendered to New Canaan police for the incident, which happened back on October 31st. Now, Pacheca admitted that he tapped a female runner and then grabbed her by the shoulder to stop her. Once he had stopped her, he asked if she would take $2,000 for sex. Well, that woman ran away from Pacheca and reported that incident to police. After Pacheca viewed a news story regarding the incident, he surrendered to police. He was issued a $5,000 bond and will appear in court on December 6th. And in other news, for the second time this school year and the fifth time since November 21st, 2016, Ridgefield is dealing with what officials call a display of unacceptable incident of prejudice. Now, a swastika was reportedly found drawn on the inside of a classroom door in Ridgefield High School on Tuesday, November 21st. The school had previously found a swastika etched into a table back in September. Principal Stacy Gross said in a message to students and parents that a full investigation has just been completed and reported to the Ridgefield Police School Resource Officer. Now, the principal concluded that students must take ownership in creating a positive culture at the school by speaking up if they become aware of any act that goes against school values. She said, "Please stand with us in denouncing this behavior and continuing to build a positive school community." Now, First Selectman Rudy Marconi spoke about the incident at Tuesday night's Board of Finance meeting, and he'll speak to the department heads at a meeting at the Lair Center on Tuesday, December 5th, that will focus on tolerance and anti-defamation. And state police say a drunk driver hit a state police cruiser that was pulled over investigating a fatal crash on Saturday. Around 1:30 a.m., troopers were investigating a fatal accident on I-91 near the exit 27 on-ramp after a Hyundai veered off the highway, traveled across the ramp, and struck trees off the right shoulder. Now, that male operator from Wethersfield was pronounced dead. Later in the morning at about 5 a.m., while troopers were investigating that crash, the operator of an Acura drove around state police cruisers and DOT vehicles that were being used to close the right lane in the on-ramp and struck the rear end of an unoccupied state police SUV. Now, no troopers or DOT personnel were injured. The cruisers and DOT vehicles all had emergency lights activated, and the lane and ramp closure was marked. Now, that 29-year-old male operator of the Acura sustained some minor injuries and was transported to the hospital. Well, upon his release from the hospital, he was taken into custody and charged with DUI. All right, let's get one final look at the forecast with Frank Granito. Frank.
All right, thank you again, Kate. We're looking at a mostly sunny day around Fairfield County. Temperatures between 47 to 49 degrees, maybe just jumping into that 50-degree range. Very breezy out. We could see wind gusts as high as 36 miles per hour this afternoon. Mostly clear skies overnight, but it will be cooler out with temperatures falling down into the mid-20s. Warmer out tomorrow. Temperatures will hit the low 50s, but mostly sunny skies again. A little bit mild later on in the day, and it will be warmer out tomorrow night as we get ready to kick off the CIAC State Football Tournament. Temperatures in the mid to high 40s overnight with partly cloudy skies, and then our warmest day of the week coming Wednesday. Temperatures in the upper 50s, as high as 58. Mostly sunny skies, a little breezier with winds back around 15 to 20 miles per hour. Clear skies overnight, colder out as temperatures start to fall down before the back half of the week. I'm back at 2 o'clock this afternoon with Kevin Coleman. John Kovach will join us as well. We've got plenty of Thanksgiving football to get you caught up on Nutmeg Sports. For now, though, back over to Kate.
All right, thanks so much, Frank. And we're going to wrap things up here on your coffee break. Nutmeg Sports at 2 o'clock, and we'll see you tomorrow at 11 with the latest local news and more. Have a great day.